Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Boulder Canyon. I'm just going to go and empty out this combine, which is very nearly almost full, and that should be the last time we have to do this before the combine finishes combining the entire field. At least I think it will be. I don't see why it won't be, actually. I'm pretty certain that he's going to finish everything up. I'm just going to let him go on round that corner there, so that I don't get in his way. Right, that's actually alright. It's whether or not it's going to be able to, like, get up here and then turn around and go back again. We may end up having, like, a spot of difficulty with the combine. I don't really know. Sometimes it does struggle a bit with these, like, last little bits of corners and that. Like, there's a little bit right there that it's already not getting properly. So I'm going to skip back to the combine here, take it off of hired help, finish emptying it out, and then I'm also going to go and get that little tiny bit right. Actually, I can get that little tiny bit right there while we're emptying out. We can do them both at the same time there. See, we got that little bit right there. Then turn it off. And finish putting that into the trailer. So, yeah, I was asking you yesterday if you can please take a look at the new DLC that is going to be released, the Alps one, and see if you think that it would be suitable for our next series that we're going to do. I don't know at the moment, mainly because I haven't been able to find a map, so it might be that we can't answer that question until next week. But also I'm wanting you to tell me, hang on a second, I just want to go there, and that is the correct way, and then I'll just go straight in here. I also want you to be telling me this week, do you want me to continue on with this series past this harvest that we're doing right now? Because we got a full pen of sheep, we've got a full pen of cows, and we're able to fill those up with everything that they need. The water, the straw, the total mixed ration in there, the water and the grass and hay in there. The chickens, they're full as well. We're able to fill all of those up. The pigs, we're able to fill them up. We'll be able to fill up the straw. We'll be able to fill up the water. The only thing that we won't be able to fill up completely would be corn, wheat, and canola in here. We will put some in. And we've got enough. We've kind of proved now at this point that we can keep the pigs fed and we can keep that going through without any problem. It's just that it's going to basically be a repeat of what we're doing right here for several more weeks if that's what we're going to do. Or we can knock it on the head right now and move on to a new series. So I want to know about that this week. And I will do, obviously I'm doing this week, and I will also plan to do next week as well. But when I start recording next week's, I will know by that point whether or not next week is going to be the final week, or whether we're going to be continuing on and we're going to be doing a lot more. So I'm happy to run this either way. I'm letting you guys make the decision on it as to whether we run it any further or not. And honestly, I don't mind. We can do this whichever way round you want to. If we do knock it on the head this time, and we say, no, we won't do any more, then we're going to be looking for the new one. And that's where I was talking about possibly using the new Alps map. We've got the Alps DLC that is being released very soon. And that one might be suitable for doing a contract-based hardcore series. So I could be quite willing to do that one. We could hardcore contracts, or I'm not really quite sure what I'd call it. I've just been calling this the super hardcore, or something along those lines. And yes, it has been pointed out that there are a number of things I've been doing that aren't really super hardcore, such as using autoload trailers. That's not going to change. I'm still going to use autoload trailers, and I've been over that and over that and over that and explained it, so I'm not going to bother with that right now. But I will still be using autoload trailers. That's just going to happen. I'm not changing that. I've decided already that I'm not going to be changing that. I'm quite happy to stay here, and we can keep working on this one, and we can get those Little bars filled all the way up with our wheat and barley and sawn, and also juggle in possibly some extra grass production as well. But I'm a bit concerned at this point that the gameplay, we're just not going to be having any variation in it whatsoever. It's just going to be planting and harvesting these two fields over and over and not really doing anything different. And yeah, I'm not really sure that that makes for an entirely entertaining series. So that's why I'm seriously considering changing it. I think that we may end up needing to empty out this combine again. I'm not sure that we're going to be able to fill it right up. So not fill it right up. I'm not sure we're going to be able to get all of the rest of the grain in here. We've only got 40% left in space. So if I take another load of grain out of here, we should be able to get it all into the trailer. I just don't think we'll get it all into the combine. So we'll take this little lot out of here, and then we can run some of this back over to the main yard in a minute. Alright. Cruise on around the corner there. Keep following this. Yeah, I'll just put the trailer up here in a second, and then the rest of it, the combine will fit what's left in the field now. We won't have any problem with that, and then that can all be dumped into this trailer, and then we can go and tip that out. So if I just move you up here like that, and you can wait there, and then I'm going to go over to this one, and I'm actually going to go onto the outside round. And I'm going to start doing a bit more baling. We'll get this baling underway. That combine is almost finished. As soon as it does, we'll get that combine up into the next field. This baling can take a little bit longer if it needs to. We just need that combine underway. That's got to get started. We want that one going as rapidly as possible. And then once it is underway, I can get some planting going on down in this field. Once we've done the rest of the baling, cleared that out of the way, planting can start. As soon as planting starts, we change our timescale from what we're running at the moment down to 1 times speed until planting has all finished. That's just standard procedure. That's what we do. And I'll get that, like, we'll keep going with what we're doing here. So I've got wheat in here. I'm thinking I'll plant corn in this field. That's what I was thinking of doing in this field. So we're going to need to cultivate this one before we can do anything else. So we will plant this. So yeah, and then that way we'll have enough corn in stock. And then the field to my left. Actually, I'm wondering about that. Maybe I should put canola in here, and I should put corn in the field up there. Like, put corn in the big field and put canola in here, and we won't do something with the straw, because otherwise, if we do stay on this map, if we do stay doing this series for a bit longer, I'm not sure that I want the big field with straw in it. I think that's going to end up, like, it's going to be a bit too much. We're going to have too much straw coming from it. And yes, the wheat is quite handy. We do want to have the wheat, but actually, there is a way around that, because I'm not allowed to put 2 of the same crop in, but I've grown wheat in here, so I could grow barley in here. I could do a round of barley in here right now, and then I don't have to worry about it, do I? I can put barley in here. The big field up there can be corn. Alright, yeah. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll put barley down here, and we'll put corn in the big field, so that then we've got another big round. Or I just plant the whole thing with corn. Like, if I plant everything with corn in here, then that might be a better way of doing it. All right, well, you've talked me into it. We'll plant the entire thing with corn. Both fields, we will do corn. Right, let's start you up again. You're finished in here. That's all done. And he did a neat and tidy job of it as well. Very pleased with that. If we plant both this field and the big field there with corn, and we get that harvest in, that is going to be more than enough corn to see us through. And then we're going to need more wheat and canola after that. Either that or, well, maybe I should see how much we get. Like, I've got the wheat in there. I've got that. And I'm looking in here. I got... Seriously, is that it? It's not even one full trailer load. That's an appalling harvest. I got 2 trailer loads. I got 60,000 litres of wheat. I'm going to need a lot more than this. I thought that we'd done better than that with the harvest, but apparently we have not. So, no, I want to lift you up. I want to go... Okay, I definitely don't want Control G, because that's the controls for the, what's it called? Jump out of there. Global Company. It's the Global Company controls. No, I want Control H. That's the one I'm looking for. Right there. I want to turn that one so it's facing left. And I want it going round and round like that. And we're going to head over to this field. And we're going to get started on whizzing around this field with our brand shiny new combine. Well, brand shiny new second-hand combine. And we're going to... Should be right. He will cut corners on that outside edge, and he will end up causing trouble with that. But I'm sure it'll be fine. So you go on and start doing that. So we're going to see how much canola we get. I'm hoping we get a bit more than 60,000 litres. There's a much bigger field up here than it is down at the bottom. If you look at the overall area in there, like that one's got a big chunk missing out of here, so it's just... And then you got that big area up there. So there's quite a lot more in the canola field. So we may end up getting kind of the quantity that we want. I'm not really sure. What I'm going to do at the moment, though, is I'm going to fill this, rather than tip it into the silo, I'm going to fill up completely and have 32,400 litres of wheat in here. And I'm going to tip that directly into the pigs. So I'll take you right there and take all of the rest of that. 32,400, and that leaves an extra 24,600. I gotta leave some back for the chickens as well. So this 32,000 litres of wheat in here. I may not put very much else in for the pigs at the moment, because of the need to keep some wheat back for the chickens. Right, which way does it tip? Remember now, that side, I think. Right, I've kind of messed that up a little bit, but yeah, it does tip that side, and it will tip straight in for the pigs like that. So I can go and have a look in here and see the number. Right, that's going to end up being about halfway full. Now, it does 10 days worth of the corn, but the speed it uses up the wheat is considerably slower than it uses up the corn up there. So we're just over halfway on wheat and barley in here at 138,000. Just over halfway. We'll leave it like that for now. I won't take anything else in there. And this one can head on into the field. We're only 24% for the combine up there. So I don't think I need to do anything else with this one at the moment. If that one's halfway, if it was using up all of the grain in there, like it's got way more than that. You look in here, it says a maximum of 10 days when you put the corn in, but when you put this in, it's not maximum of 10 days at all, because that is 25%. So this, like, double that, so that's 20 days. So we've probably got 10 days worth of grain in there right now. 10 days worth of grain in there right now, which means that we will easily be able to skip the next harvest and not plant any wheat, and then have it in the harvest after that. So we are able to do that. The one that we got to be a little bit more careful about is the corn. Now I've got another 22,000 litres of corn in here. That one. Now I'm going to take all of that and I'm going to put that over in for the pigs right now. And then we'll get on with doing the baling. So I put all of the corn that I've got in for the pigs right now. And that will be that bit taken care of. And that's basically going to leave us with maybe 9 days worth of corn in for the pigs. Right, we've got 9 days worth. So I could do one field with corn and one field with wheat, barley, or canola. It could be any of the above, really. I'm actually thinking that I might do the big field with corn and the small field with barley. So I've got a little bit more straw coming in, because the straw might be handy. But what I'll also have... Well, the straw will be handy. We need that for our animals. But, yeah, we've also got a bit more wheat coming in as well. That's also going to be a good thing. And there, 217,000. I think I was right, assuming that 250,000 is what we're going to need for 300 pigs. So it would be the same for these two as well. Now, I am, like I said, I'm giving you the option that I can cancel this early, and we can sort of wrap up the series next week. But at the moment, I'm going to work on the assumption that you do want me to continue going right to the very finish. I think it's sort of safest if I work on that assumption, because that way I'm not kind of like leaving things too long or too late or anything like that. So we've gone all the way over to here. We're on 62%. So we haven't quite filled up one tank with once around the field. That should be fine, because I'm just going to keep going around the field a few more times. I reckon... I don't think he's going to... I think he might fill the tank before he gets all the way along the bottom edge. So, as that is likely to be the case, if I fill you up, if I go now... and run down to the end of the field, I can empty off the combine there, take off that first load, and then we can leave him to go while I get going with the baling again. And then we've got our bales of straw in through. We can go and put the straw in for the cows. Well, actually, we'll worry about straw going in tomorrow, because at the moment we've got enough. There's straw in for the pigs and there's straw in for the cows, so we don't need to do it right this second. And I've got plenty of straw in the mixed feeder anyway, so I don't need to concern myself with getting more straw into there. So we can leave that, and we can focus on getting these fields planted with what we're going to need. So I'll make an assumption in here. That assumption being that this field that we're currently cutting is going to be corn on its next harvest. And the field that we've just done wheat in, we're going to change that one over, and that one's going to be barley. So we will have, that'll be the same category for the pit as far as the pigs are concerned, but it's still a different crop. That means we get a bit more straw that we can put by, but we're not going to sort of be snowed under with thousands of litres of straw from that massive, great big field up there. That could end up being too much. Now, I do want to do the baling, but I just want to follow the combine along here just for a moment, because I want to make sure that it gets around that corner over there. That is the one that is likely to cause problems. I'm actually surprised that it got round the big stone over there. I thought that one would have ended up giving us problems. He may have hit the stone and just kind of slid on past it. He didn't stop, obviously. Otherwise, we'd still be parked over there on that side of the hill. So he was alright with that bit. So hopefully he's going to be alright with this bit as well. Ideal, look at that. Slide on past the fence without any problem whatsoever. And he can keep going. So I want to go... Too far. I went too far. I want to go back over here. I only took off some of that load. We got 57% in there. I'm going to need to unload it. So if I can follow the combine... Actually, I don't think I'm going to be able to haul this trailer up that hill fast enough to stay with the combine. I think that it's going to end up being a little bit too much for this tractor to deal with. I will give it my bestest. I will give it my absolute best shot. There we go. And start moving. So we can slowly chug our way up to that point right there, and then that's it. Combine is going to go racing off ahead. If I can catch up with it now, then we can at least get... Yeah, he's gone so far ahead now that he's even put the spout away. You could leave that one out, mate. You know I'm coming up behind you, yeah? Like, you can't be that stupid. You know I'm, like, literally following along behind. I'm just about... I'm right here. I'm gaining speed now as well. You're just doing this to be difficult, aren't you? You could have slowed down a little bit just to allow for me, yeah? You could have if you'd wanted to. But no, nothing like that. No interest whatsoever. Let me wait until you're going to get to that point there, and then I'm going to let you sort of come out, turn around a little bit, and then you're going to go again. Off we go. And there. Right, now, if I can just squeeze forward fast enough to get under that spout, can I get up this hill enough? He's really struggling to make any headway on this. He's going to do it. He's going to do it. There we go. I knew we could do it. I'm not using this tractor in the next series, by the way. I'm flat out not. I'm not even going to have the mod enabled on the next series. I don't want this tractor in there. I don't care where we are, whether we do decide to go for the Alps map or we go for a different map entirely. It doesn't matter when it starts, whether we start in a couple of weeks' time or we stay here right through to the end and we do properly fill the pigs up with all of the grain that we're going to possibly want for them. None of that matters. I am not having this tractor in the next series. It won't be happening. I'm not even going to have the mod active on the map. It just won't be an option. I have decided. Right. Off you trot. You go running off that way and you fill up your combine. And we're going to head back down here and we can start doing a little bit of baling. So I'm going to head back this way. Oops, I'm going to lower that down. There. And I'm going to bale up the rest of this field right here. It shouldn't actually take all that long. Now, I could get the rake out. Have my other tractor just running up and down the field, doing a little bit of raking. Honestly, I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference, though. I think we just follow the line that we've got right here, because we're on a 9-meter header anyway, aren't we? Isn't that a 9-meter header that I've got? I don't remember now. Have I got a 9? What header have I got? That was the combine that I just seen back there, but it wasn't the header, was it? The header would be over here somewhere. Well, I thought it was, so it went past the combine. I flashed past it too quickly, didn't I? Oh, there it is. Right, that one, right, it was a 7.6. So, in theory, if I was to put the rake going in the field, it might join some rows together and some rows not, but I suspect it's actually going to be quicker if I just chug along with the baler right now and don't do anything different. So that's what we'll do. We'll chug along with the baler right now. We'll keep a half an eye on that combine. He's on 21% right now. And then we can empty that one out when he needs emptying out, and we can just keep going with the baling in here, get the rest of these done. We'll haul this back and just dump it in our usual storage spot, and then when when we get to tomorrow and our morning chores, we'll put a load of extra straw in for the cows and for the pigs and everything then, so that they've got everything they need. They've got all of their bedding. That will fill up all of their pens. And we can worry about. Actually, we don't need to worry about anything else. Like, well, that'll be all the straw that we need. That'll keep them happy. And by the morning, we will also have all of the pigs. The pens for the pigs will be full. I know I'm leaving little bits of straw behind there, but that top corner there is always a bit of a mess. We will go back up and do a couple of circles around up there in a bit. Tidy all of that up. It will be absolutely tickety-boo and wonderful and glorious. So let's bring you on round here and go and get the next bit. I do like this baler. I do like this baler. He works at a very good rate. He ticks along at a lovely speed. The only thing that I don't like is the fact that, you know, we've got this mod that has modified the overall capacity of the baler. I don't like that we've got to, like, it still assumes that the actual baler, because of the way that it works, it still assumes that we're only doing 4,000 litre bales, and it can't cope with the bales being any bigger than that. So it is a little bit of a nuisance as far as that is concerned. If I was to make any changes to it, it would be to find a baler that's got a continual flow like this one, but instead have it so that we've got a faster pickup speed or something like that. I'm not quite sure how I would do it, but I'm sure there'd be a way. Sure we could figure something out. So we've got our combine working over there, we've got our tractor working over here doing our baling, but we're all coming along, we're chugging through quite nicely, and we are getting this harvest done. It is going to be glorious. I'm just curious how much actual canola we're going to get from that field. I think I'm making the right choice though. We will do that big field with corn next. This one down here will do barley. So we get a bit more of that running through. It's either got to be barley or canola down here, I think. I don't, I did originally say perhaps we could do a big harvest with all of the other stuff going. All the other stuff, all of the corn, like just do corn right the way across. And that should hopefully take care of corn needs for a while. I don't think that is the right choice, though. I do think that we need to kind of leave off doing corn across everything, and we need to make sure that we keep the other two kind of ticking along a little bit as well. So just adding in a little bit more wheat or barley, whichever, to the total, I think is a good idea. I do think that's going to like help us out in the long run, because otherwise we're sort of doing a long gap. It doesn't really matter too much, does it? If we do end up staying here until it all finishes, it doesn't really matter, I suppose, if I kind of do the corn in big blocks or if I have it trickling in, same as I've got the other stuff trickling in. I think it's going to make a huge amount of difference between them, to be honest. We'll see. Kind of depends a little bit on how much canola I think we're going to get. I can't sort of go purely on the canola. I can. I can't wait until all of the canola is harvested. I've got to make a decision before the canola harvest is finished, because the baling is nearly finished, and I want to do all of the baling, gather up the straw, clear it off the field, and then immediately get started with planting, because it's 5 o'clock already, and I'm not going to be able to get my planting done. I need to start the planting, because that way we slow the time down. So that means I need to get this field cleared as quickly as possible, because that's the rules. The rules are we have 5 times speed unless we're mowing grass or planting. And, oh, that's actually a point. In our next series, in the contracting series, do you want me to leave, like, the time scale? Do you want me to still do the same sort of thing? Do you want me to stick religiously to this rule that it must be 5 times speed unless we're planting or we're cutting grass? Because anything else you can kind of keep going. The time will keep going and you just run out of time. Baling, doing anything with crops. We don't have withering on. I have switched withering off. So the crop isn't going to wither under us, just because we haven't quite got there in time. So that bit's going to be fine. But, like, because time ticks by at 5 times speed, if we've got a big harvest, it can take a little while for us to kind of get through it all, can't it? You know, we can end up with bits that we haven't quite harvested, or we can end up getting to the end of the day, and then we've got to stop and skip the night, and then it could be raining. I mean, at the moment it's saying it's going to be cloudy tomorrow rather than anything else. That combine up there, I need to remember that we've got to actually keep an eye on it. You're over here. Right. It's on 98%. I didn't quite keep an eye on it. I noticed that it got to 80%, and I thought, well, I do need to, like, go and do something with that, and then I forgot to actually go and do something. So now we've parked up in the field, and this is no good, but we haven't parked up very much. He's going there. Combine's away again already. Am I gonna... I'm not even going to be able to catch him up going up this hill. Right. I can catch him up here. There we go. Right. We can empty... Now we can start emptying out. So we'll empty this one right out. We will be able to do this and empty out one more load as well. So you should be able to go right the way around the field once more. Do that again. That's going to get our 3rd load off the combine, which is our first full trailer load off of the combine. So we got 1 full trailer load of canola off of it so far. And that's going to be a good 3.5 times around the outside edge of the field. I mean, I think overall, going on that, we could very well end up with about 90,000 litres of canola off of this field. That's my guess at the moment. Somewhere in a region of 90,000 litres. It could be a lot worse than that. Well, it's not going to be a lot worse than that. It could definitely be lower than that, but I don't think it's going to be all that much lower. I think that 90,000 is roughly what we're going to end up with here. Let that one go back one round. He's not going to swing around and hit me, is he? No. So that tractor can stay there, and I can go back down to this one. Go and do a little bit more. Start you up with the baler and follow this round. So we're not going to finish the baling in today's episode. We will finish the baling in tomorrow's episode. It's already 5:15. So I'm actually thinking that we're going to be leaving starting of planting until the morning. Because we'll end up skipping the night. We can go until 8 o'clock. It does depend how quickly I can get this done and what time. So if I can start planting before the clock says 6 o'clock, then I will go for it. If I can't start planting before the clock says 6, then I will leave it until the morning. We will just skip the night. We may, we could leave the hired help just working out in the field, and we'll rush through and skip the night. Actually, we won't. We will stop the hired help from working, because that's what we're supposed to do. And then we'll kind of go from there. Right, I've got a bit. Yeah, see, it's all these little bits. I got little bits everywhere here. It does, like, this top end here is always a mess. And it's very difficult to follow everything around as well and make sure that you pick it all up. But we can get most of it. I got quite a few little chunks there just on that pass, and then I got another little bit that's sticking out over there, which I'm going to run around and get. So we'll do a little bit of a loop round and gather that one up, and then we can head back down and do this run here. So we loop round there, get that bit. So we'll easily finish the baling in tomorrow's episode. That's not going to be a problem at all. And we should be able to get started on the planting. Whether we go and skip the night first before we start planting, I haven't quite decided yet. Probably will, because it gets quite dark at 7:30. And if we, well, it's going to be like 6 o'clock, isn't it? That's an hour and a half. That should be long enough to get all the planting done. It doesn't take very long in this field, does it? And then we got the big field. The big field does take longer. And we got to cultivate the big field first, because we're doing that one with corn, which means that's going to take a little step longer as well. Alright, you've persuaded me. We will wait until the morning before we start doing the field work, because, I mean, yes, I can get this field down here planted, but I can't really do much up. Well, first I can start the cultivating up in that field while the combining is still running. Because of what we're harvesting in here, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But I have run out of time for today's episode. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.